Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to That's Oatbiz, baby. I am Lex.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex.
Today we're going to be talking about s'mores, one of our flavors with 22 grams of protein that Alex is lucky enough to be drinking today. What are the odds?
Now, this is a vegan flavor, right?
No.
Oh, it's not vegan.
No.
My bad, vegan ladies.
Sorry, vegans, don't get your hopes up. This one is actually whey-based. The marshmallows are vegan, though. but we
Okay,
don't
vegan
talk about that.
marshmallows.
So if you don't want
Bring up
horse
the vegan
pieces,
marshmallows.
listen, I think it's important. I'm probably the only person on the team that cares, but I don't usually eat marshmallows because of the gelatin. But ours don't have gelatin, which is what makes them vegan.
No, that's a good thing to point out because a lot of people, and I think probably people listening right now, some people just don't eat gelatin even if you're not vegan.
Yeah.
Like, not even like a concern. It's just morally feels weird for some people.
Yeah.
What, Jell-O?
Yeah, like gelatin because
Made out of bone.
it's made of horse hooves.
Delicious horse hood.
Now, when I was talking to Natalia, which is one of our R&D scientists, she was saying when they were creating this flavor, I was asking them, like, were you guys just eating s'mores like all day
yeah.
in the lab? And she was like, there was days when we did eat lots of s'mores, but they try to find, they'll taste like tons of products. Like they'll taste other people's s'mores products, pre-made s'mores. They'll make s'mores in the kitchen and try to find a version of s'mores that is so delicious that that's where they mimic the flavor from. So it's not like a memory thing, like, because that's what I thought they were creating flavors. Like, it's like, we all know what a s'mores tastes like, let's try to
Right.
get there. But it's more of like, hey, we found the perfect s'more, how do we mimic that? And I think that's super cool and super awesome that our team does.
Did you find out which one, like, they tried that was, like, the perfect s'more?
No, because they were just going
'Cause
over
honestly,
a
I think I
million.
make the perfect s'more.
It would have
know
been
what I
you?
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been mine.
Maybe we should tell each other some ghost stories,
Oh, like around the fire?
like around the
Yeah.
fire. Let's try it
Yeah,
out.
do we not have a, can we, like, post-production a fire right here?
And a fire there.
It's just a little emoji of the
Yeah.
fire.
Crackle, crackle.
Okay, I don't know who wants to tell their ghost story first. So why don't we each say like a log line?
Okay.
Mine would be, don't play with magic unless you're a witch.
Oh my god. Okay, Harry Potter. Mine would be a ghost stealing my stuff.
Interesting. Okay. I don't have a ghost story. I have a scary story that I read. It is about a supernatural time capsule.
Ooh.
Space.
Space.
I
Not
kind of
really
want you
sure.
to go last because that feels like the best one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can go first if we want.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So my ghost story takes place back in 2012. You guys remember 2012?
Ah, yes.
Now at the time I was living in LA and my friend was living in Hollywood. And if you know anything about Hollywood, you know it's kind of scary. It's not like scary, like spooky, but it's like,
Swimming pools.
You're talking
movie
about,
stars,
like,
plastic
the
surgery.
boulevard?
yeah, like Hollywood, off of Hollywood Boulevard, like
It
off of
is
Sunset. It's
not
a
great place.
Yeah, it's a different culture. You know, you're like, and at the time I loved it, but it was kind of strange. And there was a Mystic store that was down on Melrose.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend lived on Sunset. And she lived in this back house of this random guy's house. He lived in Hollywood, whatever. Doesn't really matter. We and a couple
More
of
on
other
that
girls,
later.
yeah. Me and her and a couple of other girls we were going to college with were like going through a lot of heartbreak. It was a lot of like, college girls.
Mm-hmm.
People were,
Sure.
we wanted to manifest our intentions. So we said, let's go to the Mystic store and let's just grab a couple of candles and we'll do a seance. Because at the time I had a friend, shout out to Shelby, wherever you are, girl. Her, doesn't really matter, whatever. She was doing a lot of ghost adventures and they were going out to look for ghosts in buildings around LA. So we were like, okay, like you're going to go look at ghosts, let's
right.
do a seance together. None of us know anything about anything, which is probably not the best start to start a seance.
No, you're like begging for trouble.
Yes. So we grab the candles, we go back to her back house. We're like in her bedroom on the floor. We like light them. We're like saying something we found online, like some sort of chant.
You're summoning evil in your apartment.
And I don't know what I don't remember what our idea was and what we wanted to accomplish, but we wanted to talk to something. Anyway, the ceremony goes down. We're all laughing. Nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. We all leave. Everyone goes home. My friend calls me, and she's like, come over right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what? I drive over to her house. The glass table in her kitchen was completely shattered.
Oh,
Glass
party foul.
everywhere. She woke up in the middle of the night to her fire alarm going off. The glass is broken. She walks into the kitchen. It cuts up her feet. There's blood everywhere. We had the candles on there, so she was like, oh, maybe it just got too hot, and it made it expand and blew up.
I'm sorry. Hang on. All of this is happening. She's cutting her feet up in glass, and her first thought is, Sarah, you need to come experience this.
Yes. So I show up.
Join me in this.
So I show up because I was like,
Down, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, it's partly my fault. I'm the one that said, let's do this seance in your apartment. So I come back and, I see the glass. I'm like, where's the candle? Oh, sorry. And we track them. There is black wax leading from where the candles were on the table to the window that was over her kitchen and then to the front of her door.
Does she have like a cat or anything?
No, she lived alone. She had a turtle, a little pet turtle.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, that was sick.
Did
But
you make it out of the story alive?
yes.
Nice.
So we were freaked out, obviously. I was like, oh, so something bad happened. After that, she came to school the next day with these huge bruises all over her back that she woke up with. All I know, she moved out a week later. We left that apartment, never went back, and we probably opened up some sort of portal that is like
Still there to this day.
still there to this day, which is like kind of messed up, but
Yeah, well, I feel like life started getting bad right after 2012. So it's kind of like your fault in a way.
Sarah is the
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
everything has happened since 2012.
so that's a real ghost story. I have other ones that are even scarier, but that is one that I'm like, I don't know what we did, what we touched, but Jesus Christ is with me every day, and I think I'll be okay.
I feel like,
Bless up.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, and I would definitely, I mean, if there's like a cause to like break a lease, to like move out of a apartment,
Oh, yeah.
like that's it right there. Like,
Yeah.
Just take some pictures, send it to the landlord, be like, I can't mess with this anymore.
Yeah, like what are they gonna do? Be like, that didn't happen? Look at her.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, my thought process at the time, I think I was just like, none of this is real.
Yeah.
Let's just do it, like, who cares? And then I found out you shouldn't mess with ghosts. Ghosts are very much
Yeah, or
real.
witchcraft for that matter.
Or witchcraft.
Any of that. Anything supernatural.
It's like what's the alternative here? It's like you're never gonna like summon like a nice ghost. Or,
Yeah,
like a
right.
nice
Yeah, like,
demon.
and if you did, what would you want from them? Them to be like,
Like,
you're
just to
really
hang out.
pretty, and you go, thank you, and seance.
That's probably, like, dab me up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just...
Like, you wanna go get some food? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
What about you, Lex? Is your story similar to that?
I mean, kind of, but not as intense. So mine was in Denver, Colorado, which, if anybody knows anything about Denver, they are flooded with conspiracies and like haunted
Yes.
stories.
Yeah, like the
yeah,
airport
yeah.
and everything.
Exactly. DIA, the
Freemasons,
tunnels, the Freemasons, everything kind of like is anchored in Denver. And when I lived there, I lived downtown off of Downing Street, and it was a very old 3-story building, no elevator. There was one washer and dryer, and it was in the basement for the whole property to use. But when we moved in, like by the vent system was an old picture in like that brownish sepia type. Sepia? Sepia. And there was an old woman in the picture. Not necessarily old, I should say. She was like in her 40s or 50s.
How dare you?
I know. And it was very outdated clothing, and we didn't really think anything of it, and we just like tucked it back under where it looked like it came out. And then things would just start getting weird. So I lived there with my ex, and we would leave the apartment. Nobody else had a key. Maintenance never came in. And when we would come back, things would just be moved. So checked in with neighbors, had them monitor the apartment. Like, we were pretty close with them. And everybody was like, nobody has come in and out. We haven't heard anything. But then we were gone one day, and we got a call, and they were like, hey, are you home? It's a little loud in there. And we were like,
No one's on.
huh? And so we go home trying to see if we can like catch whatever's going on, not knowing what we're gonna do. We have no weapons.
Yeah.
We're not the Ghostbusters. What are we doing
Well,
here?
at the time, we didn't even think it was a ghost yet. We thought someone was just like breaking in and messing with everything.
Oh, even like worse. I'm not stopping an intruder.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Take my
And so
stuff
we
out
go,
here.
the door's shut, the door's still locked, and it's quiet. And we open the door, and he was a very neat person, like not messy at all. And everything, every book was on the floor and open.
Nice.
So,
Get yourself a little literary guy.
yeah, nothing taken, never found anything missing, but things were moved and messed with. And then one day, we were sitting there just watching a movie on the couch. Very clearly, I want this to be known, very clearly put the remote on the freaking coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then we're watching our movie, and it ends, and we go to get the remote, and it is gone.
Of course.
And we're like, okay, no, this is fine. It's probably just like in the couch or on the floor, it fell. Take all the cushions out of the couch, take all the blankets out, lift the couch, lift the coffee table. It is nowhere. Nowhere. So we're like, fine, we both have to go to work. Go to work, come back. When we get home, it is sitting on the coffee table,
Right where you left it.
right where we thought we left it. But we had lifted everything and moved everything, so it couldn't be there.
Dang.
And I refuse to believe it was a person because everything was just so unassuming. Like the door stayed locked. There was never anything taken. There was never a sign of forced entry. And it was on the third floor. Like how,
Yeah.
I don't know. He would like get the picture out and show people like when they came over and be like, I think this is like what's happening. And I literally would walk into the other room and sit there and wait for him to put the picture away. And I would just talk and be like, I am respecting you. I want nothing to do with this. Like, I am, whatever you want to do, girl. Like, I just want you to know I'm being respectful of your space.
You're just trying to be like a good roommate at this point.
Yeah, with the ghost. I'm like, I'll be respectful of you. You just leave me alone. And so I will never, that is one thing, I will never pick a fight with anything supernatural. If there's a ghost of any
Yeah.
kind,
You're
full
good.
respect.
Your space.
Full
You were
respect.
First, probably.
Yeah.
That's insane, though, Lex.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you were living in a place that like someone probably died in?
Maybe.
Did you not know?
Did you guys
Or-
ever get rid of the photo, or when you
No,
guys
even when we moved out, we left that.
really?
Yeah. But I think that it's possible for things to latch on to items.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm just wondering if the picture wasn't the only thing. Like, if we would have opened the vent and looked in there, like, could there have been
Yeah.
stuff? I don't know.
Well, it's like a picture, right? It's like the old
Oh, yeah,
like
it could even just be attached to the picture.
picture, like the old
Yeah,
indigenous beliefs that
That's
like
why I
your
keep
soul.
Sad Clown around. I'm
Sad
convinced my grandfather painted that or something, and I'm convinced that he's trapped up in that painting. I carry that around.
That's why
forever.
he's crying.
That's why he's sad, dude. He's a sad clown.
He said, please release me.
Also, yeah, I feel like a sad clown sometimes. That's
Aw.
a different story. That's crazy. All right. Okay, so we're going in a different direction for my story, and it's one that I'm going to read because it's not something that happened to me. It's something that I read about. It's also not about ghosts, as far as I can tell.
Oh my God.
This one starts in the 50s. 1959 in Lexington, Massachusetts.
Mm.
Have you guys ever been to?
No.
Okay, so Lexington is a tiny little town right outside of Boston. I think it's like where the Revolutionary War started.
Wow.
So a lot of old history there.
Shout out history.
Shout out history. It was at William Dawes Elementary School. They just opened, so they decided to make a time capsule. Most of the kids were just writing notes or drawing pictures. There was one girl named Lucy who just kind of wrote a bunch of random numbers on a piece of paper. And I think it was in the math class that they were doing this. So none of the teachers thought anything was weird. And so they just sealed up the time capsule and put it in there.
There's always one.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Like a little
kid, and you're
weirdo.
like,
You know what I mean? Like, this is weird.
something's off.
Okay, so flash forward 50 years. The school's reopening the time capsule. They give every student something from it. This little boy, I think his name's Caleb, gets the piece of paper from Lucy, all the numbers.
Okay, wait. They're giving the new kids in that
Yeah,
generation.
50 years later, they open the time capsule and they're like, okay, here's, this piece of paper, here's,
That's cool.
Yeah,
At first, I thought
right?
you were saying they were giving it back to the people who did it.
No.
And I was like, oh, that's cute. But
Yeah.
I like that they're
No,
giving
new
it to the new
kids.
kids.
Yeah. He takes it home and his dad finds it and is like a little bit weirded out that it's just like a bunch of random numbers on a piece of paper. He's also a big math guy. His dad, he works at MIT, which is in Boston.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the odds? Which is, yeah, like I said, just down the road in Cambridge. He's kind of like drawn to these numbers, and he's like trying to figure out like what is this, right? Figures out that it's a series of like dates, right? So it's like, you know, month, day, year, month, day, year, month, day, year. And then he's like doing, because like I said, he works at MIT, he's like a big math guy. He's like, oh, these line up with like a bunch of tragedies that have like happened.
The pattern.
Yeah, he's the math guy. And so he's like what do I do? He also realizes that some of the dates haven't happened yet.
No.
So he's freaking out.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, right.
This is like the Da Vinci Code
Yeah.
or something. Like,
He doesn't go to the police because he's like, no one's
they're
gonna
gonna
believe
think
me.
I'm crazy. Yeah.
But he does track down Lucy, the girl who like wrote the note, her daughter, Diana, and then the granddaughter, so Diana's daughter, Abby. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. Diana's like kind of skeptical, but she knew her mom, Lucy, was like a little bit of like a nut job.
Okay, so she was known to be a little wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, okay, yeah, this is weird, but like, if you say so, like it's lining up. They also tracked down the teacher Lucy's teacher from the 50s, but she's got Alzheimer's, so she can't really help. And then at this point, John's kind of like manic. Like he's just like, this is insane.
John's the MIT guy.
John's the MIT guy. He is freaking out because like the next date is like coming up in like the next like couple of days, and he's like, something bad is going to happen. I don't know what to do. Diana's still on the fence, so she decides to take the kids, like her daughter and Caleb. She's like, we got to get away from John because John's like a wacko now.
Yeah, he's like Lucy now.
Yeah,
He believes her.
exactly. It's just going now. So she takes the kids, and then they stop at a gas station on the way. John kind of figures out where they're going, but then two random people, kidnap the kids
What?
from the gas station. And as Diana is trying to chase them down, she gets into a car accident and dies. And then the kids are never seen again.
What?
Yeah.
Who kidnapped? I guess no one
don't
knows.
know. We don't know.
Where did you find this? Is this like a creepypasta or like what?
No, this is the plot to the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage.
And at the end, they all die. It's the end of the world.
It's a classic 2009 film, Nicolas Cage. When you said the Da Vinci Code, I was like, shoot, Lex knows what this is, because he's also in the Da Vinci Code.
I'm sharp with my references.
That was a good
Oatbiz,
ghost.
baby.
Yeah.
I was really excited. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. It sounds like a movie.
I was literally trying
And
to
it
figure out
is
like
a
how to
movie.
end it, because like literally the movie ends with like the kids get taken. They're like, sorry, John, you can't come with us. And he's like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then the last event that happens is like this solar flare that like blows up the whole world.
That's how the
Yeah.
podcast ends.
And I was like, how do
Solar
I
flare.
end this story with like, oh yeah, and then the Earth ended in 2009. See the marshmallows? It smells good.
Put your whole nose in
Yeah. Do it like a wine tasting.
there. Yeah. Airy.
That is very good.
Yeah. And
Now-
it's weird that it tastes like a s'mores.
It does taste like a s'mores, and I think this might even lead us to a little bit of a conversation. Like, this tastes delicious with almond milk.
Yeah.
Have you had it with oat milk? Have you had it with regular milk?
No, see, I messed up. When I made this morning, I usually do unsweetened almond milk, but I did unsweetened vanilla almond milk because that is what DoorDash brought me.
Mhm.
And shout out DoorDash.
Great customer service.
But I feel like it kind of like adds like a little bit of like a nice flavor to it.
Mhm.
Obviously, you know, with it being like a sweetened thing. But I've never tried it with like oat milk. I usually stick with like unsweetened almond milk.
See, I'm an oat milk girl. I eat all of ours with oats. Yeah,
Oats
it's just
squared.
like doubling oat up.
Yeah.
Good protein, good taste, adds a little sweetness, but that one, that's bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts, and it still only takes us like 30 seconds to make, which
Yeah.
is the dream, really. So
Yeah.
since you made it this morning, You didn't spend 20 to 30 minutes making breakfast. What'd you do instead?
I've been getting back into Wordle, and all those other like New York Time games.
Yeah, those are great.
So I'll just like sit there at my house and I'll do the Wordles, the connections, the strands. They got a bunch of different games now.
It's like a brain workout. I did
Oh,
the
yeah.
connections one yesterday, and
Yeah.
it made me want to throw my laptop out the
That
window.
was the hardest one. I thought it was an April Fool's joke.
I did too.
Connections yesterday was. Don't ever do that again because that was so hard. I didn't like it.
I hated it.
I didn't like
New
that.
York Times do better.
Seriously.
New York Times.
Thanks so much for tuning in to That's Oatbiz, baby. Be sure to follow us on Spotify and YouTube at Oats Overnight and on all other socials at Oats Overnight. And leave a comment down below. And until next time, that's
Oatbiz,
Oatbiz, baby.